Granblue Fantasy versus Rising. Yes, it has been announced. A game that we probably thought for a long time was just going to be another casualty of COVID decided to fight back, and they're going to release a brand new version of the game, updated version of the game that's going to have rollback netcode, crossplay. Let me look here and see what else that the game is going to have.
That's a little new, like basically Fall Guys mode.
Yeah, the Granblue Legends. I just saw that as you said it. There's gonna be some. You could take a. It says take a break from the fight and discover new ways to play with multiplayer party games. So you're gonna have party games inside your fighting games. You're gonna have a brand new online lobby. The game is gonna get a whole new, fresh, enhanced graphic coat onto it. So they say they want to make it look more like the original Granblue Fantasy series. You got new stages, new characters that are coming into the fold. And of course, once again, rollback netcode and crossplay is coming to PS4, PS5, and Steam. So that's what's up. And it's good they actually did this for the PS4 people, because after a while, let's be honest, they finna get phased out. The whole thing with PS5, so many people don't have it right now because it kind of came out during that time of COVID and stuff like that. It was limited; not a lot of people could get their hands on it. So it seems like we're still kind of in the in between transition. It's weird because, and I ain't trying to get off topic, but when other gens, newer gens came out and stuff like that, the transition was kind of like quick and seamless and stuff like that. But with the whole COVID thing, it still feels like we're kind of in the middle. Like, I'm still playing PS4. Maybe I'll get the PS5 when I can. Seems like we're still in the middle.
Yeah.
But Xbox, they don't care. Like we release a new system, the old one dead the day of. But so how do you? So we'll go ahead and start the discussion. But yeah, I mean, I think this is fantastic. I mean, Granblue, like I said, for a while, it kind of like was a victim of COVID, kind of like how Soul Calibur 6 was. I mean, Soul Calibur 6 was supposed to have a world tour. And then next thing you know, COVID happened, and it was like, what world tour? It's kind of like people didn't forgot that was actually supposed to happen. And the game is kind of just like, it's just kind of going down here from here. So, but it's looking pretty good, man. I mean, I'm happy that it's coming out. I'm glad the game just didn't roll over and take it and just be like, hey, man, it is what it is, man. You couldn't predict COVID. It's good that they're like, fighting and saying like, nah, we finna give this game some life. We go give it a new chance, and then we'll roll back crossplay. I mean, let's just, Lord forbid, another random, pandemic or something happens. The game foolproof, it got rollback and crossplay, so they basically making sure that their game can live. So, what's y'all thoughts on it?
I watched the trailer this morning. My buddy King mentioned it to me, and he said Granblue. He said versus Rising. I'm like Rising. I'm thinking in my head like, is this like a spinoff or something? And because there's a game called Granblue Fantasy Relink, which looks amazing, by the way, which is an RPG based off the Granblue universe, and it looks pretty dope. I want to say I think it's coming out this year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That looks pretty dope. So I'm watching this trailer. I'm like, wait, is this for the fighting game? I'm like, this a new game because oddly enough, I think I saw a mod for Granblue like on PC, where like it added like I'm like some crazy stuff to like the combat, like air dashing and a lot of stuff. I'm like, I don't have this on PC, but I might get this because that looks dope. And now I thought this was that, but I guess that's something totally different. But I looked, I was like, this looked like the graphics are better, so I kind of noticed the visual upgrade like immediately. It looks pretty fire, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Granblue was a game I played a lot of. I enjoyed it. Again, just like Rexon said, it kind of came out at a time and it just, the pandemic just kind of just overshadowed the game because there was really not a lot of events when it first came out that you play it at. So now you just had to play it online, and the online for that game wasn't the greatest. I'm just be honest, and just like the way the servers was set up, like you would play the same person like 5 matches in a row. I was like, it would be like consistently. You meet a person and you play them like 5 times in a row. You rematch for ranking, but you would play the same person over and over. And I'm like, all right, this kind of getting redundant. So yeah, I think that game definitely could needed a touch up when it comes to like the online aspect of it. And it's also dope to see they adding like little stuff like the little legend, basically Granblue Fallout guys, Fall Guys. I mean, that's kind of cool. I think more fighting games should do so like that. I think more fighting games going forward now should add stuff into the game that's outside of just the normal modes. We need to bring. I mean, Street Fighter Six is doing it. Mortal Kombat usually always has something in terms like story mode. But I mean, if you think back on Mortal Kombat on PS2 with Armageddon, oh no, Deception, it had combat, chess combat, combat racing, which you think like this is the most like absurd thing, but it was kind of cool. Like they give you extra content.
It seems
Um,
like they're trying to set the norm, man. I mean, you got Street Fighter 6 coming out with all the content, like you said, and
yeah,
Granblue Rising coming out with it. It seemed like they about to say, like, look, this can no longer be just y'all throwing hands. Like,
yeah,
we gotta have something else to do.
because thinking about did you play Grand Blue a lot, E, or when it first
Yeah,
came out?
I played Granblue a decent amount. Yeah, like I played what was
Okay.
it, Lil Wayne.
Yeah, it the game was dope, but it just didn't have like it had the story mode, which is basically just kind of like a side scroller. You had
Mhm.
trial modes, and then that was kind of it.
Yeah, that was pretty much
Um,
it.
so them adding more content, I think, is dope, especially for a game like this. I honestly think that the story mode should have been a little more like expansive anyway, more like an actual action RPG, because it's kind of what the game is kind of based off. Well, at least they're gonna have a game like that. It's basically
Mhm.
an RPG universe that I've heard from a friend is inspired by Final Fantasy. So it's like, why not just make the story mode kind of more so like that? Like something like,
Right.
we look at old games again, like Mortal Kombat Deception, the Conquest mode, something like that. But yeah, the little fun doing the Fall Guys type thing, that was definitely out of left field. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah,
Um,
and definitely
Yeah.
I
was.
I was like, wait, they're actually taking the lobby characters, the little chibi characters, and doing something like that's pretty cool. So now, I mean, this got to mean new characters, new system mechanics, um, probably new stages. I just was on Twitter like 20 minutes ago and saw some character from the universe that basically looks like a common rider in the Grand Blue universe. I'm like, he looks dope. They should put him in the game. So yeah, I think it's dope, man. I definitely was not expecting it. Even like the announcer, my friend was like, they kind of sound like Street Fighter, like Super Street Fighter almost. It was like it was more. It wasn't like it's like the atmosphere is more modern now instead of like fantasy. Like at least with the cover, and we see like Grant has like a Super Saiyan Blue mode now. So I don't know if this is gonna be. I'm assuming it's gonna be a new character because usually when they do this, it's gonna be a separate character. So
Oh yeah.
it looks cool though. It looks cool to me.
Yeah, like I think it looks pretty awesome. I definitely, like I said, I didn't expect to see anything for Granblue basically ever again. Like I thought, okay, that's
Yeah,
just how I felt, man, because it was like we're saying, like you're saying earlier, like it was a casualty of COVID. You know, I mean, Granblue was poised to be like a super big hit, especially like in locals. Like it was great, and then oh, can't have locals anymore. Like gotta stem the spread of COVID, and then like the then it's like, oh, well, we can just play online. Yeah, you can just kind of play online. Exactly that. It's the netcode, I guess, just wasn't up to snuff because I mean they weren't planning on, like, who could have planned for that? Who could have possibly planned for that? For like the pandemic, nobody could have planned for that. Well, anyway, nobody could have planned for the pandemic, especially to like affect fighting games the way it did. Like you said earlier, like Soul Calibur 6 was supposed to have a world tour that never got off the ground. And I mean, that effective, it didn't kill Soul Calibur 6, but it definitely crippled it, It that was kind of supposed to be like that game stepping out into the limelight only to just have it taken away, and it's not
yeah,
like they've made any announcements about it after that. So Grand Blue was almost just like that. Like it was almost a game that was just completely forgotten about, and I had almost forgotten about it myself until like Big Scythe actually sent me the video. Say it was like, hey, like look at this, like this Grand Blue's gonna be at Evo, and I'm like, wow, yeah, definitely now. Like that's pretty nuts. But this has kind of been like for the past few months. Um, especially with like DNF Duel. It's like, you know, they're trying to inject new life into like games that might not have gotten like their due. I think, you know, DNF Duel is cool, but it definitely, I mean, it I guess like it almost felt like DNF Duel had its run already, and it's only been out for a few months. It hasn't even been that long, really, and nobody was really playing it like that. It was difficult to find people to play, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna redo the game. Not completely, but mostly. They mostly redid the game. Like the character, like especially if you're a grappler player, like his awakening isn't trash anymore. So I'm really interested to see what direction they took with the characters and the new mechanics and stuff like that. Like this stuff looks really cool. I'm interested to see like what they ended up doing with, like, you know, like I play Belial, right? That's the character I play, and like he looks like he has like extra like follow up attacks after, like, you know, his anti-air and stuff. I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. I'm really interested in the game again, and crossplay. I mean, say
Yeah,
less,
that was a
bro.
big
Like
one. That's a big one.
exactly. Like we're
And real
we're we're
quick,
to that point,
real
huh?
quick, I want to say I can't believe they don't have cross playing DNF. I'm just
Right. Yeah.